Hello everybody, this is Rita Hernandez and welcome to Live on Air with Rita on Inspiration for Life TV network. I love that we get to go to the communities of San Antonio to bring you inspiring stories of all the amazing people that have great organizations and so much more. I am here today with Samantha Coleman and she's with NPower and she's going to let us know a little bit about herself and her organization. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
I'm very excited to be here. I love this building. I love your office. And of course, we're wanting to share all about who you are and what you do. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. We appreciate it. This has been a great space, and just coming to San Antonio and bringing these services has been amazing. Like you mentioned, I'm Samantha Coleman, and I'm the site director of NPower San Antonio. And we launched here in March of 2023. And since that launch, we have served almost 150 individuals and helped them launch careers in tech.
Wow. So now tell us about NPower. What is it? What does it stand for?
We are a national nonprofit, and our goal is to serve young adults, women, and military-connected individuals from underserved communities through no-cost tech training, services support, and job placement assistance, completely at no cost, and again, adding in those wraparound services to really support the student as they go through this journey.
I like what you said earlier. It's too good to be true. You know, how does one kind of say, wait, is there a catch to this?
Yes,
you know?
And I've been in the nonprofit world for 15 years helping people, and that was my question too. But it is free. It is a wonderful service that is here for people to take advantage of, and so that's what we're hoping, is to get the word out. Hear from our alumni and our students about the impact it's had in their lives. And it's really, what do you want to do? We're here to support and amplify your dreams to get into the tech field and really build generational wealth.
Yeah. And where do you go to? Do you go to schools? How do these students know about this program, or how does anybody get to know about this program?
That's a great question, and that's something we track as well. So I'd mentioned to you previously, we are a small team here in San Antonio, and so, especially doing segments like this really helps us amplify our message and reach more people. Other than that, very grassroots efforts. We are out in the community. I'm going to be out in an event this Saturday tabling, so definitely look for us out in the community. Doing those kind of things. We're at job fairs. We're talking and collaborating with other nonprofits and business owners. We are a ready-to-work partner, training provider through the city of San Antonio. So working a lot with them and their pre-apprenticeship program, apprenticeship services, working with local colleges. We don't see ourselves as competition. There's enough people out there to help and have these services, so we just want it to get into the right hands.
I agree with you, and I love that you use the word amplify, because we always tell everybody what we do through our small, organization, media organization. Everybody has their own voice. We're just here to help amplify it for you through our network. And I love that you're out there doing that to, again, the beauty and unity, communicating, collaborating, and working with others, like you said, the colleges, the universities, the schools. It's not about the competition. It's about how many other people can we reach, how many other students and, women and so forth that they can reach to help be a part of this program, because this is essential, this is important, and this is something that is truly needed. So when we get this information, we do get a lot of questions saying, hey, can you ask this questions, because we want to get feedback from the audience and the listeners and the viewers. So somebody asked, can you provide an overview of NPower and how the program supports military spouses and veterans here in the San Antonio area?
Sure, and that's a great foundational question. So we are, again, national nonprofit, no-cost tech training. We do not take away from GI benefits or state educational benefits, and our services are completely covered. So you go through 20 weeks of virtual tech training that is with a live instructor, with one of those days being dedicated to professional development. We know soft skills are really important in today's workforce. We try to keep a pulse on that by talking with business and employment partners, and that's something that is constantly requested. So we do dedicate specific time to that. As far as, at going through the course, you're earning at least 4 industry recognized certification. You have the opportunity to test for those. We cover all of those services as well, whereas some programs you may go through, but that isn't covered. We include that in our services. Getting those certifications, you have the potential to get more if you have the drive and passion to do that. So throughout the training, we have one staff member, and it's their job to check in with you and support you. So, coming in and adding in that support. Sometimes it's cheerleading. Sometimes it's actually getting those services. So that's really where we plug into the community as well. We want to build resilience in our students, and if they have an issue down the line, even though we offer services after our program, we don't want them to just think of us. We want them to have already been plugged into a network in this community that's embraced them, and they can go to them for help. And then finally, we ended out with job placement services. So we've been fortunate enough to make relationships and place a lot of our students with Microsoft, Boeing, Accenture Federal Services, and a lot of the independent school districts in the area as well.
And that is important because I'm thinking of, like my daughter and, other friends' children. If they're going to school or going through programs, in their mind, they're like, how am I supposed to go to school and work if I don't have the money? How am I supposed to pay for this program? How am I supposed to pay for this certification? And I love that y'all cover that for them. Because in their mind, they don't have to stress out about, how am I going to come up with those funds to cover that certification and so forth. So that's a really good thing. So that's very important to know and understand, the great benefits of being a part of this program. All right, now tell us the Tech Fundamentals Courses program, and how does that work?
Yes, so that is the program that we offer here in San Antonio, and it really gives people a foundation in tech, a mastery of entry-level tech skills. So whether we have people who have, exited the service and they're trying to make that transition, or maybe it's been a few years since that transition and we're still trying to figure it out. Or you've just graduated high school and the college route isn't for you right now and you want to get into the workforce. You can jump in and start doing that.
And I love that as well, again, because it's like I love to use my daughter as a reference because everybody knows my Jasmine and my story and my 5-year-old son. They grew up in everything that we've done through our organization, and also my oldest. So my middle child, she's 20. When she graduated from high school, she's like, I'm going to take a little break, and now coming back, she's starting to, go to college again, and it's like starting all over again. So you got to take them exams, you got to take those tests, you got to, do those refresher courses. And even for myself, I used to be an EMT, I used to be in the medical field, and somebody asked me, hey, would you like to come work in this office and, you could do your medical skills? And I'm like, I need to go back and take a refresher course. I've been interviewing for so long, but saving lives is just something that's always part of our life. But I love that you're able to do that and help them kind of get through that refresher and, the fundamentals, the basics. So don't be afraid. Don't say like, oh, I haven't done this in a while. This is the perfect place to get those fundamentals going and get those wheels turning again. All right, great. And what are the wraparound services you also provide?
So one, general support. You have a point person or anyone on our team is open to helping in some way. We know mental health is huge in our communities, not only with our young people, but with our veterans and really people of any age. So having a staff that's trained to help with those things and get people to the services that they need, and sometimes intervene, but also it's financial assistance sometimes. Since the pandemic, a lot of people are still recovering from that. So we have, you're going through this training course. Unfortunately, life doesn't stop. And, we're about removing barriers and giving access to people who traditionally haven't had access to these types of programs and helping them rise, ending generational poverty, just getting to that next level generationally. So it's really stepping in and identifying, well, what are the needs, individual by individual. So, we've seen people with eviction notices. We've had tech issues. I mean, it's really been all over the place, and we want to be that end-to-end solution, but with a community focus and bringing that in.
Exactly. And that's needed because everything that you just touched upon till this day, I know a lot of businesses that have closed down. I know a lot of friends that they're like, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just going to have to stop because there's no funding, there's no, manpower. It's just me and so forth. So coming in to get this training, to come in to work with NPower, just get the education, get started to see what you need to do for your life, but not just for yourself. If you know somebody else that needs to go through this program, this is a perfect place to start. I love that.
We've had entire families come through, and which to us is one of the biggest compliments because they trust us with their family members.
Wow.
So we've had mothers and sons go through. It's been amazing, the impact.
I love that. And this, again, that just kind of coincides with what we're trying to do, to spread the message, but y'all are actually out there doing the hands-on action to put people out in the communities and provide jobs for them and helping them find that. So I love that. And how does NPower help change lives? You pretty much nailed it all.
Well, and that is the question, isn't it? And I think as we get more and more alumni, you'll hear those stories, and I know we'll hear one today. But what I've loved about this program is, one, removing the barriers. Yeah. Our students are the ones that do the work. It is very much their accomplishment when they graduate, and we've just helped with that. We've heard so many times in our community that a lot of people are one, disaster away from financial ruin. And so being able to step in and say, okay, there's a speed bump here, but you don't have to quit. This is the plan, this is what we're going to do. And you have a team behind you, so they get to make the most of the opportunity. If they have the drive, we'll teach them the skills. Wow. So I think it's very individual on that front.
Exactly. And I love that you're going to be bringing in other people to share their stories, to share their testimonies, because every person is the individual, testimony of how it changed their lives. So this is something that's going to be I look forward to sharing more stories about the testimony. So this is very impactful. That definitely does help change lives. So I love that. How does someone apply to get more information about NPower?
Go onto our website and apply for Tech Fundamentals and just start the process. Whether you're on the fence about it, our next class starts August 5th.
Okay.
And so you want to get those applications in. We're actively recruiting. You could be in a new career by the end of the year.
Wow.
So go online, get the applications in, reach out to our office. We want to hear from you. We want to answer those questions. Don't be intimidated.
Yes.
Please reach out.
And how can they find you on social media and the website?
NPower has a national account on LinkedIn and other social media platforms, and then you can always look for myself or NPower on LinkedIn as well.
Well, thank you so much, Samantha. I really appreciate that and all the information. I look forward to sharing more about NPower with the communities of San Antonio, Texas, and also around the world. I'm very excited to bring on our next guest, and it's Adelaide. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to hearing your testimonial. As we were talking about earlier, about sharing the stories of those that have been through the program, and we want to hear a little bit about your journey. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll jump right into the questions.
No problem. So I'm a student of NPower San Antonio. I heard about the program from a very good friend of mine who is also an alum from the last cohort. I have a banking background, banking and finance, and after COVID I realized that most jobs were not sustainable. People were being laid off, but if you have a job or a career in IT, you could either work from home and still keep your job, or still even work in the office because they were essential services. And as a military spouse who tends to deploy a lot, I wanted a career that could move with me. Yeah. So I always wanted something in IT, and that's what pushed me into NPower. That's what encouraged me to go into the NPower's program.
And she just shared her why, that everybody has their own preference in what they're wanting to do. So I love that you're targeted in what you're wanting your goals to be. I love that. How did you first hear about NPower, and what made you decide to join the program?
So like I said, a friend of mine who is an alumna from the last cohort introduced NPower to me because she knew that I wanted to start a career in IT, but the how was the problem. So since she had been through NPower and it was a very fruitful program, I mean, she gained a lot from it. She suggested it to me, and then I decided to register, and that's how I'm here.
I love that. Her answers are like the how, the who, what, when, where, how, why. She's got it down. So these are all the questions that we want to make sure we ask, because we have people from around the communities of San Antonio. They want to know more. They want to hear about the stories and the journeys that y'all. So our next question that we have from one of our listeners and our viewers: what do you think are the biggest benefits of the NPower program for military spouses and veterans?
So I would speak from the military spouse point of view. It allows you to have the flexibility for a course that is remote, it's online, but you have live instructors.
Yeah.
Like Samantha said, it's not a pre-recorded program, so you can move wherever you are and still study and have these very foundations of IT. Like I said, the how was a problem. How do you start?
Yeah.
There are so many certifications in IT, but NPower gives you the very basic upon which to build, to get other certifications and then a career. So for me, as a military spouse, it's the perfect program. There's mobility in there. You are giving the resources. The financial barrier is removed, and then you take it up from there.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And what is something you would want people to understand about the experience of being a military spouse in the workplace and some of the unique challenges and barriers?
So the barrier as a military spouse is the frequent, deployments and movements. So you would need a career that would move with you.
Yes.
Because if you have the traditional office career, you would always have to be applying for new jobs and things like that. So for me, that's the biggest barrier. And a career in IT, a program like what NPower is doing, is the perfect, school/career setup
Okay.
to move with us, because we move a lot as our spouses are moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a way, for a lot of people that have that struggle, that I think for them, they don't do that, or they don't take advantage of it, because for them they feel stuck. They feel in a place where they're like, I can't do anything, I can't go anywhere. And I'm definitely learning something new with NPower about the mobility. I see that you're able to take these courses, do the program, and be able to choose what you want to do.
Yes.
So I love that. What advice would you give to new students who are now just starting their journey with NPower?
So I would say it depends on you. You need to have the drive for it.
Yeah.
Once you have the drive, once you have the interest, once you have that focus, I want a career in IT.
Yeah.
NPower gives you everything you need. Like Samantha said, the barriers of finance is removed, the barrier of resources is removed. They are there to support you. You have live instructors, you ask questions. So for me, I would say for any new student, you need to have the drive. You
Yeah.
are your own barrier per se, because the system, the NPower system is set up to cheer you up, to give you every resource you need to succeed. So it all depends on you. Just have that focus and that dream, and then you can make it.
So it all depends on you. Come on now. All right. And how has being a part of the NPower community influenced your career, aspirations, and networking opportunities?
So I got into NPower with the mindset of getting into a career in IT. Now I am more certain this is what I want to do. They've given me every resource I need, the soft skills, professional development class. There's a social support manager who is always ready and willing to support. And I have become more confident in approaching, say, potential employers at a job fair, for instance, because typically you go to a job fair and there are so many tables, you don't know what to say. NPower gives you all that coaching, interview sessions, mock interview sessions and all that. So it's been a holistic program, and it's been very impactful for me. It's taken away that barrier of fear, not knowing what to do or where to go away.
Well, you're now going to be an inspiration to so many other people watching this segment. So on that note, how can they find you on social media or reach out to you?
So I'm on Facebook, Adelaide Kujo. You would find me on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn as well, the same name. I think those are the two social media handles I use the most. Yes, so yeah, that's how you can find me, and then we can connect.
Well, congratulations and thank you so much for sharing your journey. We look forward to having others reach out to you and being inspired by everything that you do and asking you all the questions about the program. So thank you so much.
Thank you
I
for
truly
having me.
appreciate it. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Live on Air with Rita show on Inspiration for Life TV Network. We look forward to sharing more inspiring stories here with you on Live on Air with Rita.